Well, you know, before integration, they didn't have a school or college for us, and some ministers uh, met with us at the church, and then later on they decided they'd have a school for us, and this particular school turned into the college, Design College,
Okay.
and I went there as a student at that time. There was a white minister there at that time as the, principal or coordinator or whatever, until he got another job. And then Reverend Trailer came on as president.
Harsh
Yeah.
Trailer, yes, okay.
So, first of all, before the white minister left, and after I had graduated, I worked as his secretary. And then when he left, as I say, I worked under Dr. Trailer. So, as I say, I was the first graduate there from this particular school. Then, after that, I went on to become a student with Chattanooga City College. Well, of course, I graduated, what's that word there? Whatever. Cum laude.
Cum laude.
With right to wear honor card.
Okay.
And several of my friends graduated too from Zion, and I was able to work rather in the business office after I graduated from there.
Okay. So you got a job in the office once you graduated and started working right away.
Yeah.
And then you matriculated over to UC.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Because, as I say, before integration, they needed somebody to work on the alumni.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to organize the alumni constituency group and served over them.
Okay.
And I served on most of their committees. My son, my twin son, I worked on so many different committees, and I complained about being tired and this and that. And she said, "Mother, you're only a token." I say I must be a mighty good token because she got me on every committee over there. And really, I even went so far until, I'm not complaining. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, but I really worked real hard on them. And then I was honored twice as leadership at UTC. And when Knoxville College celebrated their 50th anniversary, I was one of their speakers by way of what do you call
Satellite.
that? By way of
Satellite.
Yeah,
Okay.
by way of satellite.
Okay, that was very interesting. So when you were at UTC, being one of the first black students over there, because you were one of the first black students over at UTC, what type of experience did you have there?
Well, nice. They were very nice, cordial, very nice to me.
Because at one time, we here in the city looked at it as being behind the hedges, so to speak, because they had all those hedges around over there, and we weren't allowed to go up on that campus until the merger took place back in those days. And you had the great experience of being one of the first students.
Oh,
there.
yes. I was even on the Chancellor's Roundtable.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, those things that kept you very active too, being on the Chancellor's Roundtable.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little bit about the Chancellor's Roundtable, because you probably were the only blacks on the table at the round table at the time.
Well, I was on so many different kinds of tables until I don't remember that way. And of course, now at my age, I can't remember
Yes,
too
ma'am.
much.
I understand. We truly understand. And then tell us about the how you became a part of the Chattanooga African Heritage Center, which is now which matriculated into the Chattanooga African American Museum, which is now the Bessie Smith Cultural Center. Tell us a little bit about your experience there, working with Roy Noah, Mrs. Goodwin, and others, as you all did with the Heritage Festival Center.
Well, I would, attend their meetings and participate in whatever that they were planning.
Okay. And you also worked. You also worked with the public school system. You worked at Howard.
12 years.
12 years, huh? As a secretary?
12 years as a secretary, and then I advanced to several different other evaluation organizations, and finally retired as administrative assistant.
Okay.
And I also worked in their, they used to have a business substitute class.
Substitute teacher?
Howard.
Oh, and
Used to have,
substitute teachers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I worked there in the business office. I worked as secretary, and I worked upstairs, and then I worked upstairs in the business office.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you had some great experiences.
Oh, yes.
So if you had to tell our young folks something today, what would you say to them? Our young people today, what would you say to them about persevering in their studies and things of that nature? What would you say to them?
Well, just make sure that they're taking care of all their work that's necessary for them to do to get ahead. See, I was also served as I had about 20 proteges under me, mm-hmm. But of course that was, during the time after work.
Okay.
She can talk a little more how this was a black group of secretaries that Dr. Mr. Roy Noel had her to start because he wanted these black young ladies to get into professional careers, and at that time it was all for white professional secretaries. She can talk about that.
Okay, talk about the piece of the secretarial program that you all started, that Roy Noah had you to head up.
Well, this was at the beginning of integration, and of course these young ladies were going into the business field, and of course naturally they didn't have the experience.
Yes, ma'am.
With these older people in business out there in the world. And Mr. Noel, Joe Noel, is the one who approached me to see if I would help these young ladies. And there were just about 20 of them. And I could name some of them, but I won't. But they all turned out well. Every one of them. I am so proud of that.
That's because of your teaching and your leadership. Because you were one of the first black secretaries around in this area. Having gotten your secretarial certificate from Zion College. Mm-hmm. Yes. So we're grateful for the things that you've done, the impact that you made on our city and our community, and we certainly thank you. Okay. Now, as you approach your 100th birthday, what are you looking forward to? That big old cake. We're looking forward to that big old cake and a big celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're so grateful for you.
Wait a minute. I also have a certificate from the governor already.
Already?
Already.
Well.
Show it to him, Daddy.
and the mayor.
And the mayor. So everyone is recognizing you on your 100th
people
birthday.
On the street.
And people on the street.
People that said, I want to come to your birthday.
Oh.
Really?
I thought, hey, I'm sure they do because that's a grand celebration.
I don't even know.
Hey, it's a wonderful thing to have people to remember the things that you've done and to be able to talk about these things, and then to have you still here to talk about it with you. certainly you've made a great impact on our city.
I hope
You've
so.
made a great impact on our state. And we thank you for the service that you've given us. And hopefully, some of us who have stood on your shoulder will be able to remember those things that you did to advance our community.
I too.
And thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're so happy that we're here with you and able to talk to you about these things. And we look forward to celebrating your birthday
Thank you.
in the near future here.
And those people on the street.
Well, we're gonna go back and ask those people on the street. See, yeah, so we thank you so much, Ms. Scruggs, for being a part of the history here in the city of Chattanooga, especially our African American history. Thank you so much.